Thanks so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill. I'm director of the Epic practice at Cordea. And with me today is Jeff, solutions architect. Since May of 2023, I've been working closely with Jupiter Medical Center, serving as director of their net new enterprise Epic implementation, partnering closely with their CIO, Kevin Olson, to modernize their IT ecosystem through improved technology capabilities. But before going further into how we set about modernizing their ecosystem, it's important to understand who Jupiter Medical Center is. So Jupiter, or JMC, has been a provider of quality patient care for several years, making them a pillar in their community. A leading destination for world-class healthcare, best regional hospitals for 2024 to 2025, out of just under 5,000 hospitals evaluated. Jupiter is proud of their Leapfrog A ratings, the only hospital in fall of 2024 to receive this gold standard safety grade from the Leapfrog group in both Palm Beach and Martin counties. It's a difficult standard to meet, but JMC continues to meet it year over year, 12 total since 2018. CMS 4 stars, world's best hospitals by Newsweek in 2024, a great oncology program per Becker's Healthcare. The accolades go on. But the point here is not that they're excelling in these categories defined by external evaluators, but that this recognition is indicative of who they are and their identity. At its core, JMC is on a mission to deliver the best patient care to their community. And to continue supporting the community, JMC recognized the need to grow alongside it. The organization saw rapid expansion from 2021 to 2023. The JMC physician group grew roughly 300% over a one-year period, including adding several of those clinics into the JMC healthcare umbrella. Expansion via construction has been ever present over the past 3 years, something you would readily notice if you were to head on campus. In January 2024, the new Surgical Institute opened its doors, adding 16 state-of-the-art operating theaters, including 5 Da Vinci Chi robots. Construction is well underway for a new patient tower that's going to add 92 beds to their current 248-bed capacity to better service their heart and vascular, orthopedic, and oncology service lines. And in the spirit of providing care to the community, they're building a new community hospital to serve the Avenir community, allowing those patients that currently make a 30-plus minute drive to Jupiter to stay close to home for much of their care. The goal of their expansion is clear: continue to provide world-class care and grow to meet patients where they are while overcoming competition in the area. So let's rewind to 2022. JMC was at risk of not achieving its growth and scalability goals due to technology challenges. 4 EHRs were in use: Cerner Community Works in the hospital, ECW in the clinics, STAR for patient registration and financials, and ARIA for both medical and radiation oncology. Several bolt-ons sat on top, and systems did not communicate well with each other. Maintenance was difficult, and there was certainly room for operational efficiencies. Additionally, the data warehouse was smack dab in the middle of the hospital. Second floor, valuable real estate with poor DR posture. The IT ecosystem at the time was providing just what it was needed, but it wasn't ready for a continued growth environment. So late 2022 into early 2023, Kevin, the CIO, worked with Cordea to evaluate a future path, one that included an integrated EHR system and data in the cloud to free up that valuable real estate for revenue-generating clinical functions, also improving uptime, security, scalability, and patient experience while lowering costs. In short, unlock the ability to grow, scale, and innovate. There was a pretty easy solution to address the fragmented EHR system. Epic has been a leader in the EHR space for several years. Once again, KLAS ranked them as the top EHR in 2024. Their dominance in the market, along with early clinician and rev cycle evaluation of the offering, suggested that it would solve several of their challenges resulting from a fragmented EHR ecosystem. Running the numbers made it even more compelling. All in, over 7 years, we projected an 18.5% reduction in operating expense. So it was a no-brainer to go with Epic. But it was a seemingly more nuanced decision to determine how to handle their on-prem data warehouse. The path of least resistance, or the easy button, would be to use a third-party managed hosting solution. Other Epic community members were having a positive experience with this option without having to take action to upskill their staff. The other path was not as easy, but the benefits were pretty tantalizing across the board: innovation, security, cost saving. I think American author Terry Goodkind has a very fitting quote here. If the road is easy, you're likely going the wrong way. And AWS was the right way for Jupiter. There were several contributing factors that led JMC to choose AWS, and with the benefit of hindsight, it's clear they made the right choice. Best in class for public cloud offering in 2025 with truly dominant scores. But before these scores were even known, AWS's building blocks helped JMC make the determination. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, or EC2, offered the ability to deliver secure and resizable compute processes with the flexibility to suit JMC's needs. AWS Relational Database Service offered high availability, reliability, and security. Simple Storage Service, or S3, offered the infrastructure with backup and restore to help JMC feel confident. But beyond the building blocks, the pay-as-you-go consumption model helped JMC make the final determination. So when you factored in those costs, it was also another no-brainer. Total cost of ownership projections showed that hosting Epic and AWS was 35% cheaper than the current state at the time, and 58% cheaper than alternative hosting options. So at this point, it was all systems go, and JMC started to look for the right partner to get them where they wanted to go with Epic and AWS. And Cordea's sole focus is healthcare IT, and our expertise is advancing patient care through innovative technology. Cordea is also an AWS public sector partner, which is a designation that highlights Cordea's expertise in leveraging AWS's cutting-edge cloud technology tailored to the healthcare industry that ultimately would allow JMC to meet their goals and focus on their continued growth to better serve their community. And this partnership led to a seamless direct implementation of Epic on AWS. We had an ambitious 13-month implementation timeline, beginning in July of 2023, culminating with a go-live on August 31st of 2024. The pre-implementation phase was heavily focused on AWS configuration to deploy the non-production Epic environments in AWS, and we collaborated with Epic on completion of copy for build steps, while working with AWS on completion of load balancers, firewall, and the AWS landing zone and server build. We ran some vulnerability scans to remediate any issues, and were prepared well ahead of the copy for build turnover date from Epic, enabling the project to begin the build phase on time. The rest of the implementation focused on the core components of any Epic implementation: adoption of Epic Foundation workflows, build, testing, change management, with some other technical milestones along the way. But not once were the technical components of the implementation the limiting factor for proceeding to the next phase. And no Epic project goes perfectly, but we did meet all of our milestones, and JMC successfully went live on Epic on AWS August 31st of last year, as we initially set out to do. We saw a return to clinical metric baselines within 3 days and were considered a top performer in several key revenue cycle metrics, including candidate for bill, both of which suggest to me that hosting Epic on AWS had no negative impact on productivity and the ability to provide care and generate revenue. And some of you might be familiar with Epic's implementation methodology, which includes a post-live survey component. And that survey is made available to all users, and they're asked to score several questions on a scale of 1 to 10. For JMC, the highest average response was to the question on system performance. And the system performance metrics back that up. JMC has been at or above the Epic community average in terms of response time and exception percentage since going live, and there's been zero unplanned downtime. So by all accounts, the go live was a major success. Building on the ability for the clinicians in the business office to see success with Epic on AWS, we can see that some of the pre-planning that we did paid dividends on the post-implementation phase. For AWS, ongoing monthly costs have been right in line with expectations generated as part of the TCO, and the savings plans and flexibility offered by AWS help JMC stay in line with those expectations, while continuing to offer the opportunity for innovation. Innovation enablement, platform flexibility, volume-based cost models, AI enablement. This is an encapsulation of what JMC is leveraging now and plans to leverage in the future by hosting Epic on AWS. And there's one specific use case we'd like to highlight today. Midway through the implementation, a key innovation opportunity presented itself. This was earlier than anticipated, but we were eager to capitalize. JMC had a third-party application sitting on top of Cerner to support some of their scheduling workflows. And that leveraged another third-party application to make outbound phone calls as part of their contact center. As part of the move to Epic, we were decommissioning those applications in favor of Epic, but we still needed a third-party application to support outbound dialing from data provided through Epic Workflow. Through the Cordea and the AWS partnership, learned that Amazon Connect was an alternative to major players in this space, and the price point was favorable for Connect. No additional licensing costs with the ability to reduce operating expense in the future. Another less easy path that proved to be the right decision for JMC. So I'll turn it over to Jeff to talk through the positive results and why it was the right decision.
Thanks, Bill. So as he was saying that we started looking at the services. By the way, who has AWS today you've installed? And you're aware that you have a fully AI-enabled contact center built into that as one of the services. It's awesome. So that affords you a 50% cheaper cost base than a current solution that's more license-based. So it's really a volume-based play and allows you the opportunity to move from voice services to automated AI-based services, which is also a lower cost to the organization from an OpEx perspective. We also saw a 25% improvement of scheduled radiology assets, so MRI, X-ray, CAT, PET, and had the ability to turn that around very quickly and show more scheduled capacity within 3 months. So the phase 1 outcomes, we just finished that up. We essentially had a backlog of Epic work list, an Epic work list of up to 8,000 orders for radiology scheduling. We reduced that using an efficient outbound dialer. An efficient outbound dialer down to less than 1,500 in 2 months. We essentially trimmed the abandonment rate from 10% of calls abandoned to less than 5%. We essentially did a lot of those advanced pre-processing in the queue while we're waiting to connect to an agent. And then we had nightly integration to and from Epic that allows the Epic platform to be updated on a nightly basis. So moving forward, a lot of AI opportunities within the queues, a lot of AI opportunities for helping with physician office scheduling. And we want to be able to leverage Alexa Engine to automate calls. And we want to be able to have the opportunity to maximize caregiver productivity with things like authorization calls. Pharmacy tech may be on the phone. I can build a Lex bot that waits for insurance carrier to pick up while they're waiting on hold. Connect the call. I just saved 17% of my productivity right there. And then be able to maximize the agents into a common pool. A lot of agent silos. Agents are in silos, so you have central scheduling. Maybe you have some other functions. Bring those together on a skills-based functionality to maximize those agents, leveraging also AI.
And other opportunities are rampant. So in the very near term, continued opportunities to save via additional savings plans offerings from AWS, which will give JMC the continued flexibility to scale cost effectively. We're also exploring some environment architecture to determine if there are additional opportunities to spin up or down when needed to generate additional cost savings, something that is much easier to do on AWS by comparison to alternative hosting options. And so the goal of enhancing their ability to provide world-class care, JMC's ability that is, to their community remains front and center, working towards an integrated clinical enterprise. And JMC has plans to create an innovation room with the hospital of the future in mind. This will offer the ability to mock up an enhanced digital patient experience, and we're excited to partner with AWS on some of the opportunities that exist through them, including increased Alexa integration. All in, the direct implementation of Epic on AWS has already proven to be the right choice. The future opportunities will only improve the ROI and ultimately will allow JMC to remain a pillar in their community and provide world-class care to their population. And so that's all the content that we have prepared for you today, but happy to address any questions if anyone has any.